Israel's democratic genocide. That was a partial title of a electronic intifada interview that they did with Haim Zibrenth. I forget the last part of his last name, but he was making the point that a vast majority of Israeli society, settler colonialists, support Israel's genocide and extermination campaign that's being forcefully directed towards the Palestinians, particularly the ones in Gaza, but obviously in other areas of the occupied, historic Palestine. And, it comes at it from a couple of levels. So, for example, this was a poll in 2024, he cites that 97% of those polled supported Israel's extermination, their genocidal campaign against the Palestinians. And part of those polled, some of them even wanted the campaign, the strategies to get even more extreme, more brutal, more horrific. So there's that, a vast majority of Israeli society. So, and if there was a, referendum or an election held on the genocidal campaign, vast majority of Israelis would support it. And then also the fact that they were talking about how, the Nazis' genocide, their Holocaust that killed 25 million people, 5 million of them including, Jews, and then all the other groups that the Nazis targeted. It was done in a very much a industrial scale, so it didn't really need, a lot of people to function in their genocide, in their Holocaust that killed 25 million people. But the Israelis' democratic Holocaust has used hundreds of thousands of Israelis in the Israeli occupation forces to carry out this genocide. So it's democratic on a lot of levels, and the Nazis largely kept these things out of sight of, German cities or German places and tried to hide it and had less people involved. But this one, it's, again, a genocide that is being broadcasted and live streamed every day. Everybody in the world who has access to any type of technology, to internet during the last couple of years, knows exactly what is going on. And this person who is being interviewed on EI, his parents survived Auschwitz. And he was saying, I just thought if people knew what was going on, if, governments knew, they would put a stop to it if it happened again. Yeah, all of these governments all over the world are exactly aware of what Israel has been doing these past 2 years. And the West, particularly the United States, but obviously other countries as well, like the UK, Germany, etc., have been providing military, political, and economic support to facilitate Israel's extermination campaign against the Palestinians. And to a large extent, there's no groups or governments trying to stop it besides Ansar Allah in Yemen. And the resistance groups in the region to a certain extent as well. But where is China? Where is Russia? Where is any of these other countries, at least, supporting boycott, divestment, and sanctions like happened against apartheid in South Africa? It's not. happening, and it's very, very troubling. But as this person also pointed out, there's millions, if not hundreds of millions, of people all over the world who are continuing to speak up forcefully in many different ways against this genocide, against this Holocaust. And there's people trying to break the siege by organizing these humanitarian flotillas, and then we see them being brutally repressed by the IOF. We see the Italian unions going on strike. I believe 1 million people yesterday striked in Italy to try to force an end to this genocide, to this extermination campaign. Just keep talking about it. Keep talking about it. Do what you can. Educate those around you. Support financially those trying to bring aid and, food and just really basic things to the people there that need it. Free Palestine.